The dark Chinese marriage market. Let's say you decide to go for a stroll to the market. On the other hand, rather than seeing fruits or veggies, you find a market full of single ladies who are hunting for a companion all the more desperately. Millions of people all around China are currently experiencing this reality at this very moment. These individuals are referred to as the leftover women. Why are women in China being left over? According to common usage, the term leftover women refers to women who are single and over the age of 27 and have not yet tied the knot. On the other hand, as you undoubtedly already know, this is a pejorative term. It is important to pay attention to the terminology that is used in China for both single men and women. A woman who is past the age of 30 and is single is referred to as a shangmu, which is a Mandarin term that translates to leftover woman. In Cantonese, you are referred to as lo cho, which is a term that may be translated as orange at the bottom of the basket, sugarcane that didn't get sold, and the thing that was used for filling the gap of the stove. The term gao fu shui, which translates to diamond bachelor, is used to refer to a man who is over the age of 30 and is not in a relationship. Cantonese people refer to you as sun poon, which translates to quality real estate. In China, however, why is it considered such a difficulty to be an orange that is at the bottom of the basket? And what are the reasons that people have gone to such an extent to find a partner? The societal forces and the reality of living in China need to be uncovered for us to find out this information. Dating in China, finding your roots. The one-child policy that China has in place was implemented in 1979. It was an extreme measure that was implemented to restrict the increase of the population. The policy was terminated in 2016, and it was succeeded by the policy that allowed for 2 children. This policy was later revised to allow for 3 children, which is the policy that is now in effect. There are around 104.7 males for every 100 females, which is a strong indication that the original policy is still having an effect in the present day. Another thing that needs to be brought up is the fact that in China, there is a significant preference for boys. To put it another way, boys are regarded as the most valuable possession in China. They are the ones who carry the family name forward. They are the ones who are historically considered the inheritors of riches, and most significantly, it is believed that they are the sturdy pillars who will take care of their parents when they are old. There is a way of thinking that has its origins in centuries of tradition, and it persists even in our contemporary times. However, hold on a second, there are more males than females. Isn't that correct? So what exactly is the issue? To put that into perspective, this is not a numbers game like Tinder. According to Chinese culture, younger brides, especially those in their early 20s, are more desirable than older brides. When they are in their late 20s and beyond, women who have not yet tied the knot frequently have a tough time finding relationships. There is no shame in admitting that Chinese men have a preference for younger women, and a significant number of them would rather opt to remain single than date an older lady. At this very moment, the reality of matchmaking in China is undergoing a significant transformation. Many of the ladies who were left behind are transitioning to a new life. The problem with women who have leftovers. There is no denying the fact that the culture of China is entirely dissimilar to that of the Western world. As China and the United States continue their conflict over technology, there is a significant disparity in the information that the general people are exposed to. As an illustration, on TikTok in China, there is a distinct version that is known to promote content that is educational, historical, and scientific, whereas the version that is used in the United States is known to promote dancing videos and content that is questionable. Therefore, taking all of this into consideration, it should not come as a surprise that millions of women are opting to seek higher education or to emphasize their jobs. What are the outcomes? Many people are getting married considerably later in life, or they are even deciding not to get married at all. This change undermines the old assumptions that women were expected to prioritize marriage and family for the majority of their lives. The shift in priority, however, is not only in the head, but also in the place of the individual. It has been stated that Chinese males living in rural areas are having a harder and harder time competing for the attention of potential partners. How come? The reason for this is that a large number of women from rural areas have moved to urban areas in search of better economic prospects. A significant number of these working women do not mind being single, yet traditions and family roots continue to be strong, which is why some parents choose to take matters into their own hands and visit wedding markets to publicize their daughters who are not married. Opportunities for marriage in China. Every weekend you can encounter hundreds of worried parents clutching marriage overviews of their children. This is something that happens every weekend. Not only do these resumes include standard information like as the applicant's age, height, and income, but they also go into further detail, such as whether or not the applicant owns a house or a body of automobile. If you are a single person who owns your own home and vehicle, then you, my friend, are sure to be a very attractive prospect. Now, this may come off as a little unusual. But what puts an extra cherry on top is the fact that many of the daughters who are being promoted are entirely ignorant that their information is displayed in the park or market for everyone to see. There are a significant number of sons who are also being advertised by their parents, so this is not limited to simply daughters. For a moment, try to see yourself in your younger years. There you are, a pleasant and content single Pringle. And then all of a sudden, your parents begin searching for a potential companion for you by going around to different marketplaces. On the other hand, these markets are well established in their customs. In addition, they shed light on the enormous pressure that society exerts on individuals to get married and the lengths that parents would go to guarantee that their children are not abandoned. There is a flourishing dating industry in China. However, the size of the dating market in China is something that a lot of people are unaware of. There is a significant amount of money to be made in this enormous market. A great number of well-known firms have been known to commit any means necessary to acquire a portion of the market. Apple, for instance, has been known to provide the Chinese government with information regarding its users over the past. It's interesting to note that the dating and wedding sector in China is doing quite well. The annual revenue that it generates is believed to be greater than $300 million. As a result of this, several sociologists have concluded that the matchmaking and dating industry may have been responsible for the creation of the leftover women label to maximize earnings by playing on the worries of single women and parents. The prospects for China's women who have leftovers. Even though it is difficult to forecast the future, an article published in The Conversation suggests that the 7 million unmarried women in metropolitan China who are between the ages of 25 and 34 are among the most significant contributors to the expansion of the country. Approximately 41% of China's gross domestic product is currently contributed by women, making it the country with the highest proportion of women in it. There is a suggestion in another piece that China's tendency to have leftovers will continue for many years to come. Women's rights activists in China continue to strive for justice and equality, even though they are subjected to a variety of obstacles, including detention, intensified surveillance, house arrests, and incarceration. You're going to be astonished by what we discovered in our most recent video, so if you thought this video would be fascinating, you should check out our most recent video.